Okay, so welcome to the next video. This is an unusual video. This is not Flowgrithm. This is in relation to a question I was asked by some students recently, and they're using a tool called Raptor. I thought I'd give it a try and see what it's like. I don't like it. I won't be producing any other videos for Raptor. I think it's horrible to use. But hopefully this will answer your question. It's an identical question to one I'd solved in Flowgrithm a while ago. Enter numbers until you enter a terminal number -1 in this case, populate an array, and then spit out the contents of the array and the largest and smallest number. Fairly straightforward programmatically. It's took me a little while to get my head around how Raptor works. So the way I've solved it, as you can see, is I've set my big and small variables at the top here. I've set a counter at the start. Raptor uses one index array, not zero index array, so that was a bit confusing. I get the numbers outside the loop just on the first attempt, just so that when it runs through, big and small are set initially. We then pop in the loop, and the loop works until you get -1, which is what's going to what's going to exit. So I get the numbers again. It's not very efficient. I could have done a function, I guess. If the number is bigger than count, that's the number into array. If the number is bigger than count, then bigger than small, or whatever, it's going to change this, updates it. This is the one that checks if it's smallest. If it is, updates it, increments the counter, keeps going round and round and round. If we look at the put contents, get the size of the array. I'm just putting the word array contents on the screen. Keep looping while the array size is bigger. I'm just sort of took it as a value at the start, and then till I get to 0 and take 1 each time. It's dirty, but it works. And then we've got the biggest and the smallest. So let's run through it and see that it works. So I put in my values. You can see down here, big and small are set to -1 because -1 is the exit point. Let's say I enter 0 to start off with. So the big and the small are both set to 0 now. We can see that first element there is 0. 1, 3, 5, 2, 5 and 0 are our smallest still. I'll put in -1 this time. Okay, so -1 didn't go in the small, it used one to exit, but I've not found a way of not putting it in the array. Raptor seems to check at the bottom, so it's quite difficult to sort of catch it. It looks like you can change that, but again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I really don't like the program. So there we go, there's the array contents, that's my -1, what was I doing there? There's the contents of the array. I'm printing out backwards by the look of it, so I'm sure you could fix that. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, there we go. And then smallest is 5, biggest is 5, smallest is 0. So it does sort of do what you asked. Again, I don't like the program, so feel free to have a fiddle and improve it, but hopefully it'll get you started. The Flowgrithm version of this would have been a lot more straightforward. It is a lot more straightforward. It's just how Raptor seems to work. So I hope that helps. If you've got any questions related to Flowgrithm or coding in general, please feel free to ask. But for now, I'll leave it at that.